Good morning and welcome to Build. We have a bunch of new updates we are rolling out at Build, starting with Visual Studio. It is the most powerful IDE for .NET and C++, and we're making it even better, right? .NET 10 support, live preview at design time, improvements to Git tooling, a new debugger for cross-platform apps, and much, much more. And we're moving, by the way, to a monthly cadence for stable releases as well. And when it comes to VS Code, just a couple of weeks ago, we shipped our 100th release in the open. It included improved multi-window support and made it easier to view stage directly from within the editor. And GitHub continues to be the home for developers. GitHub Enterprise has tremendous momentum in the enterprise. And we're doubling down for developers building any applications. Trust, security, compliance, auditability, data residency are even more critical today. Now, starting with tools you use to the infrastructure you deploy on to reach the users and the markets you want. Talking about trust, open source is at the core of GitHub, and we're taking this next big step. As GitHub Copilot has evolved inside VS Code, AI has become so central to how we code. And that's why we're open sourcing Copilot in VS Code. We're really excited about this. Starting today, we will integrate these AI-powered capabilities directly into the core of VS Code, bringing them into the same open source repo that powers the world's most loved dev tool. And the next thing we're introducing is an autonomous agent for site reliability engineering, or SRE. This is the next big step forward, which is a full coding agent built right into GitHub, taking Copilot from being a pair programmer to a peer programmer. You can assign issues to Copilot, bug fixes, new features, code maintenance, and it'll complete these tasks autonomously. And today, I'm super excited that it's now available to all of you. Here I am with all the bugs that I have or issues that I have to deal with in GitHub issues. The first one is adding a filter for user group size, community page. Let's go take a look at this issue. It's nice. They say, I've got to go put some new filter up here. It also shows me where. Let's do the thing that I can do, which is assign it to my new buddy, Copilot. So I'm going to assign it, and there you go. Let's go and see. Let me scroll down. It's picked it up. It sees me. It creates a PR. And, you see that nice eye emoji? It sort of knows that I'm here, and it's sort of going on to work. And we'll come back and check it out later. Today, we're introducing a new class of enterprise-grade agents you can build using models fine-tuned on your company's data, workflows, and style. We call it Copilot Tuning. This is about really not just using Copilot, but it's about tuning Copilot for every customer, every enterprise, every firm. Copilot can now learn your company's unique tone and language, and soon it'll even go further understanding all of the company's specific expertise and knowledge. All you need to do is seed the training environment with a small set of references and kick off a training run. The customized model inherits the permissions of all the source control, and once integrated into the agent, it can deploy to authorized users, right? So you can sort of go to groups that you've set up and distribute it across Copilot. Think of Foundry like a production line for intelligence. We already support 1,900 models, whether they're response models, reasoning models, task-specific, multimodal, you name it, they're all there in Foundry. But still, picking a model can be a bit of a chore, and you need to be able to route your queries to the right one fast. And so we are making that easier too. Our new model router will automatically choose the best OpenAI model for the job. No more sort of those manual model selections. That's why today we are thrilled to announce Grok from xAI is coming to Azure.
So that's really the focus of Grok 3.5 is sort of fundamentals of physics and applying physics tools across all lines of reasoning, and to aspire to truth with minimal error. Like, there's always going to be some mistakes that are made, but we aim to get to truth with acknowledged error, but minimize that error over time. And I think that's actually extremely important for AI safety. So I've thought a lot for a long time about AI safety, and my ultimate conclusion is the old maxim that honesty is the best policy.
Yeah,
it really is for safety.
Thank you so much, Elon, for briefly joining us today, and we're really excited about working with you and getting this into the developers' hands.
Thank you very much, and I can't emphasize enough that we're looking for feedback from you, the developer audience. Tell us what you want, and we'll make it happen. Thank you.
I was at LlamaCon recently with Mark, and as he likes to say, he's bringing the full herd of Llama. The full Llama herd to Azure. We're excited about all the advances that they're making in open source, Black Forest Labs, and many more, right? So all of them. And we also have expanded our partnership with Hugging Face. So you'll have access to over 11,000 frontier and open source models in Foundry. But models are just part of the equation. You really need like a database or a knowledge engine, a real query engine that's custom built for agents. And the Foundry agent service lets you build declarative agents, in fact, just with few lines of code just on in the portal. For complex workflows, it supports multi-agent orchestration. And I'm excited to share that now the agent service is generally available. With Entra ID, agents now get their own identity permissions, policies, access controls. The agents you build in Foundry and Copilot Studio show up automatically in an agent directory in Entra.
This is Vibe Travel, a chat-based app that uses Azure AI Foundry to provide an AI travel agent to help people plan their trips. I'm planning a trip to New Zealand in about 8 months, so I asked Vibey for places to ski. This math isn't mathing. I'm pretty sure 8 months from now is January 2026. We definitely need to make our AI agents smarter and give more grounded responses. We can do this by giving it files with reference data or connections to other services like Microsoft Fabric or TripAdvisor. In addition to giving it access to knowledge, we also give it access to our flight reservation API. Now, let's go back to our app and try our query again. In about 8 months, it's January 2026, which is the summer season. No skiing possible. Now, when I click this reset button in the app, it immediately clears our chat session without a warning. That's not ideal. And I can ask GitHub Copilot to help me implement the details for issue number 1 and also fetch the details for issue number 1. I also have this beautiful design. It's pretty sweet, wouldn't you say? Let me add this to the context window and send the prompt. You can see the GitHub MCP server fetch the details, and with Agent Mode's new vision capabilities, it means that Copilot can even understand the sketches of what I want. Copilot Agent Mode was able to examine the proposed changes, look for relevant files to change, make the changes as appropriate, and it even stuck to the styles and coding standards that I wanted it to. When I go back to the app, it was able to implement the UI changes that my boss wanted. Let me see if it's running. That's it, keep. As you can see, folks, this is live. I don't have time to debug, but once I click this issue, I'm pretty sure it's implemented. Copilot was able to add the modal in our app, and that's 2 issues that we worked on in a handful of minutes. Thank you, GitHub Copilot and Azure AI Foundry. let's take a look at the issue that he assigned earlier. Do you remember it? To add that group size filter to the site. And Copilot was able to open up a pull request to start implementing these changes. So let's take a look at the deployment. Fingers crossed. And you can see the group size filter was added.
We're excited to announce the Windows AI Foundry. And now we're extending this platform to support the full dev life cycle, right? Not just on Copilot PCs, but across CPUs, GPUs, NPUs, all, and in the cloud, right? So you can build your application and have them run across all of that silicon. We're announcing native support for MCP in Windows. Windows will now include several built-in MCP servers, like file systems, settings, app actions, as well as windowing. We first announced Bash on Ubuntu on Windows nearly 10 years ago. It subsequently became what we obviously call today WSL. Today we are making WSL fully open source.
The super exciting thing that we really want to talk about here at this build is our real serious commitment to MCP. We can get into all sorts of arguments, and I know you all are perfectly capable of this, as am I, as engineers, like where you've got really sharp opinions about pieces of technology and like, this thing's a little bit better than that thing. But what's better than all of that is like just getting something standard that we can all use and build on top of. And like, we hope that thing is MCP. So we're announcing today, and you all should go check out the code in the GitHub repo, NLWeb. And the idea behind NLWeb is it is a way for anyone who has a website or an API already to very easily make their website or their API an agentic application. And because every NLWeb endpoint is by default an MCP server, it means that those things that people are offering up via NLWeb will be accessible to any agent that speaks MCP. So you really can think about it a little bit like HTML for the agentic web.
We're integrating Cosmos DB directly into Foundry. So that means any agent can store and retrieve things like conversational history, and soon they'll be able to do also use Cosmos for all their RAG application needs. Last fall, we put SQL into Fabric, and today we're taking the next big step. We're bringing Cosmos DB to Fabric too, right? Because AI apps need more than just structured data. They need semi-structured data, whether it's text, images, audio. And with Cosmos and Fabric and your data instantly available alongside SQL, you can now unify your entire data estate and make it ready for AI. Now, while our cloud offers this comprehensive coverage, there are still many critical use cases that need extreme low latency and explicit control where and how your apps and data are stored. And that means the ability to run things disconnected. And that's why we also offer Azure Local. But there's one more domain that I want to talk about to close out, which is science. We'll have real breakthroughs in the scientific process itself, which will really accelerate our ability to create a new material, a new compound, a new molecule. That's our ambition with Microsoft Discovery, which we are announcing today. Discovery is built on Foundry, bringing advanced agents, highly specialized in R&D, not just for reasoning, but for conducting research itself.
These are the set of candidates that Microsoft Discovery has identified for PFAS-free immersion coolants. But I know what you're wondering. Did we actually make a discovery? Well, this is not just a demo. We really did this. We took one of the most promising candidates and synthesized it. They didn't let me bring a new material unknown to humans onto this stage, but I've got this video from the lab. So we can see there my coolant, and we dropped a standard PC in it, and it's running Forza Motorsport. And it is keeping the temperature stable with no fans. It's literally very cool.
So that was, a quick, comprehensive, whatever you want to call it, walk through the full stack. and how we're creating new opportunity for you across the agentic web. Thank you all very, very much. Enjoy the rest of Build.